Hey everyone, so I've not done a video for ages, so I thought I would do one on this hayfield that we have literally done today. Or I didn't do it, my dad did it. So we cut it probably 4 or 5 days ago, and obviously you can see we've got quite a few bales in here. This is 24 acres and it averaged about 10 bales an acre. We actually did the outside rounds to silage, but these are going to stay as hay, mainly because we are trying to wrap less bales for the reason mainly that the plastic has gotten so expensive, but also because our cows seem to do on fresh air. The grass we grow seems to be a good kind of grass that sustains them over the winter, so in an ideal world they've needed more hay than silage anyway. So we've got our bales of hay. Now the interesting thing is this year, and what's fascinating is that because of the price of artificial nitrogen fertiliser, we decided to take the risk and not use any artificial fertiliser this year. So it was a big risk, but it's something that we've been working towards probably for the last 10 years. I've been prepping my dad. I've been saying to him basically, Dad, we've got to get rid of the fertiliser, we've got to get rid of the fertiliser. And slowly we've been reseeding some of the fields, and we've not been using fertiliser on them, but these fields and some of the others we have continued to use fertiliser. This one would have had liquid nitrogen last autumn, or maybe a bit earlier in the summer. It could have been actually last August time, and that was the last time it had artificial fertiliser. And we have managed to get the same amount of bales per acre than if we'd used the fertiliser. Now we did put more farmyard manure on this year, so the farmyard manure had been rotted down for 12 months, so that's something else new that we're doing. We never used to rot it down for very long. We used to put it in a pile from winter and we would probably spread it in the summer. Now we leave it for 12 months so it breaks down, gets lots of worms in it and gets going a bit more, steams it right up, and then we literally spread it on the fields, which is what this field has had. And this field also has quite a few like wet spots in it, so it has the ability to it probably holds more water, this field, than many of our other fields, because we're quite shallow soiled, so we've only got about 6 to 8 inches of soil over shillet on most of the farm. So it's great in the winter because it means the water literally runs out the bottom very quickly, but in the summer it means that we are prone to drought. And you see those fields across the way there, those are grass fields. That's what it can look like. But we have got some greenery, we've got some grass growing in this field, and what we are really excited about is that next year we will be putting this field into GS4. So although we have got 10 bales an acre in this 24 acre field, the size of the field doesn't grow enough. Basically it is under producing, and I feel that that's probably because we have weakened the plants because of the artificial fertiliser. They've stayed up near the surface, the roots have, rather than getting themselves down. So then when we have our drought conditions, they are not able to water themselves, and we don't have any kind of irrigation system or anything like that. So we do fully rely on what falls out of the sky. And this spring we actually had a spring drought, believe it or not. And so whenever anybody's like, oh, it's raining again, I'm like, no, actually we need the rain. Like, the water levels are really low still. We have been on like be careful of the water supply since about April, May time. We have run out of one lot of water source once, and we've had to flip it over to the other water source, which is the one that feeds the animals on the farm for in the house, and it's just about holding its own when it rains. So we've had brilliant weather for the ability to grow grass in the last 3 months or so, because it's warmed up. We've been getting rain overnight, we've had heavy dews as well, and we also have been getting the sunshine, so perfect conditions for growing. We've had a good time period this week for hay. You know, we haven't been rushing to try and beat the rain. We've got it in and it's not looking like it's going to rain anytime soon. We'll get these all in tomorrow. So it's exciting. I'm excited about what this field is going to produce in the next 5 years as it goes into a GS4. The plants that we're going to see. We're not going to plough this field. We haven't used a plough for a long time on this farm, because the fields that we've used to plough on, you can tell which ones they are because we've made them dirty, we call it. We've basically created a weed problem in certain fields. So we are going to min-till this. We are going to rip the most of the dead grassy stuff out, and then we are going to use what we call a dyno drive, which is basically like lots of little shovels on a self-driven machine behind a tractor, and just turn over the first couple of inches of soil. We're going to try and get a 50% bare soil kind of here, and then we're going to get our friends to come and drill it for us. So it will be interesting to see what happens in the next few years with this field, and how many bales we get off of it next year. If you have any questions about what I've spoken about, please comment below or send me a message. I'm always happy to have a chat. Also happy to learn about other people's experiences. If you're basically going into an organic system, we're essentially going into an organic system, but we won't be getting the piece of paper to say we're organic, just because it keeps our options open at all points. But yeah, it's always interesting to know, and that is tonight's video. Hope you have a lovely time. Thank you.